Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Hendrick Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Concord, and we're going to check out their 2022 Dodge Challenger SXT. So huge shout out to them for providing this muscle car for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. The Challenger that you see behind me is finished off in white knuckle with an MSRP just over $36,000. And to start off today's review, we're going to check out what powers this Challenger. Underneath the hood is the 3.6 liter V6 paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out 303 horsepower around 6,300 RPM and 268 pound-feet of torque around 4,800 RPM. That power sent to the rear wheels, this weighs in right around 4,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds with a top speed of 152 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 18.5 gallons. You can expect to see around 18 miles per gallon in the city and 27 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 116.2 inches. Its overall length is 197.9. It has a width of 75.7, a height of 58.4, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.2 inches. And now moving on to the exterior styling for this Dodge Challenger, we're gonna start off with this grille. It has a very unique design to it, being very narrow and going from side to side. There's also a sunken in design to it. So from this angle, you can tell there's a black trim piece as well as the bumper, and the headlights are even sunken in as well. Some of that bodywork extends above them, giving him a really nice design. This does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. Now the DRLs and turn signals are the inner light with the headlights and the high beams on the outer section. This even has fog lights down in the lower section, as well as even more cutouts to provide even more cooling. There's a lower spoiler finished off in black just to give it a little bit of contrast against this white. And this even has functional hood scoops. So there's one on each side, providing even more airflow to that engine. Really nice bulges going down both sides, as well as those two lines right in the middle. So it's a unique design right in the middle of that hood. And then as we move on to the side profile now, this has a really nice design to it. It has a set of 20 by 8 inch wheels, finished off in a dark gray, which is a great contrast against this white. This has body colored side mirrors as well, more black trim surrounding the windows, and really nice lines running down the side. The most prominent is just above the fender flare, going all the way back to the rear taillight. And there's a few crisp lines in those fender flares as well. Really nice side proportional design. That pillar in the back is very large, giving it a unique shape. And then this does have some pretty wide rear fenders over the back tires, as you can tell with that line, along with the line just next to that spoiler. And finishing up in the rear is the matte black spoiler with the integrated backup camera, nicely placed right in the middle. Dodge is underneath that. This has a set of LED taillights with that ovalish design on both sides. Down in the lower section is the dual exhaust, along with some more black trim, just to tie it in nicely. So with the exterior wrapped up for this Challenger, let's move on to the rear cargo. So you can use the button on the key fob or this button up underneath, which will release it. And when I open this up, there is a ton of space for this two-door vehicle. Plenty of cutouts on the driver and passenger side to put an item sideways if you need to. And then these back seats do fold down, giving you a lot more storage. Makes this a very practical vehicle. And then I can also pull up the floor where there's even more hidden storage, as well as access to the battery. And there's also a tire inflator, a little bit more storage if you need to place any items up underneath the floor. Really nice to see that addition. Now there's no grab handle, but I can easily grab this lip and close up the rear. So with the exterior and the cargo wrapped up, let's make our way to the interior. And to unlock the vehicle, all I need to do is place my hand up underneath the door handle and it will automatically unlock. If I push on this black button, it will lock. So if I back up a little bit, I can hopefully unlock it again. And now we can move on to this door panel where there's black leather on the armrest with some stitching. There's even a split style to the door storage space. So there's a little bit in the back section, a little bit in the front section where you could place a drink. The release handle is underneath the window controls and the side mirror adjustments. There is some plastic trim in the upper section, and then some really nice fabric just above that armrest. And then moving on to the back seats now, in order to gain access, there's a handle on the side where I can easily move that backrest up. And then these are automatic seats, so I can move it a little bit farther forward using that control down below. And at 5'10", it's time to work my way into the back seat, where I actually have a decent amount of space. There is a storage bin behind the seat as well if you need to use it. And then my head is just up against the headliner, but it's very comfortable. I have no complaints. I'm not hunched down or anything. If you're a little bit taller than me, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but for a two-door vehicle, this is very large for backseat passengers. You can even have 3 people in the back seat. Very impressive to see that amount of room. There's an armrest in the middle as well as 2 cup holders. And over on this passenger side, as you can tell with this seat all the way back, not as much leg room, but you can easily accommodate your backseat passengers with the amount of room that is up front. There are 2 air vents right in the middle, so it gives your backseat passengers some climates. There's also armrests on both sides. And then like I mentioned earlier, that is a very bulky pillar, but there is a window on both sides, so that way you can see around it if needed. And like I mentioned earlier, the back seats fold down. There's a tab on the side of the headrest, so when you fold both of those down, you can get this angle of the amount of storage that you can put in the back of this vehicle. And then to get out of the back seat, I can just pull on that tab again, push that seat forwards, and I can easily hop out. So it's very functional for backseat passengers. And then talking about these front seats, they are finished off in cloth with a 2-tone design, more of that stitching running down the bolsters. We have a low door sill, so it makes it easy to enter and exit. And the door actually opens very wide as well, with an easy to reach grab handle. And then moving on to the steering wheel, it's finished off in perforated and solid leather with black stitching running along the inside. On this right side is all of the cruise control settings. On the left side is voice commands, Bluetooth controls, and all of these will control that center gauge cluster. In order to do that, let's fire this up. With my foot on the brake, that button is over on this right side, and we can bring this to life. And then coming back to this gauge cluster, on the left side is the tach, on the right side is the miles per hour. There's also some fixed information on the digital screen right in the middle, like the engine temperature, fuel gauge, and what gear the vehicle is in. And then using those buttons on the left side of the steering wheel, we can go through a lot more information. Currently it's showing miles per hour. If I scroll down to vehicle information, you can look at TPMS along with all these other vitals, just depending on what you'd like to see. There's also a 0 to 60 timer along with your braking distance. I can scroll down again to some other averages as well as the fuel range. There's trip information that you can look at, as well as music, any messages that you may have when your phone is hooked up. And then going into the screen setup, as you can tell, the upper left is highlighted for the compass. You can go in and configure that to show whatever you'd like to see, just depending on your needs. So as you can tell, I'm changing that right now. You can also do that in the upper right. You can change the center screen too to display different information like the menu title. You can pull up your speed. So just depending on what you like to see, I love how configurable that screen setup is. And then we're back to the speedometer. So it's really configurable. Great to see that. Over on this left side is the headlight and fog light adjustments, as well as some dimmer switches. There's the release for the trunk. Even the foot brake is located down below. There's one air vent. And then making our way to the center is this 8-inch touchscreen system. Very simple and straightforward to go through. There's radio and media. You can go into the climate controls, adjust where you like the air to go, the dual zone, you can sync these. There's the defrosters up top and some various controls. Going into the apps now, you can go through all this information. You can pair your phone to this system. There's even the compass. And then going into these settings, you can configure all this general information just depending on what you'd like to use. There's an air vent on both sides. More of this trim, which gives it a really nice look. Moving our way below that, we have even more buttons for that upper screen. There's power and volume for the radio, tuning, traction control. You can even turn that screen off if you like to. You can mute the audio. And then if I push on sport, that will of course put it into sport mode. The hazards are right in the middle. And then there's even physical buttons for that climate control. So if you're not in that screen on the upper section, you have fan speed, you can turn this off. There are temperature controls for driver and passenger, along with the defrosters and the recirc. And just behind that, we have the shifter finished off in leather. With the release on this left side, if I pull it once back, that is for reverse, where you'll see the backup camera appear along with the guidelines. Drive is all the way back. You can even put this into the manual setting, which allows you to shift using this shifter if you'd like to. On the right side of that is a little bit of storage, along with 2 cup holders behind that. Even more of that trim that you saw surrounding that infotainment system. And then the center armrest is finished off in leather. The stitching runs all the way up to the engine start stop button, so it wraps around, giving it a great look. And when I open this up, there's a 12 volt along with some USBs and an auxiliary, so you can charge electronics. You can have those cables coming out of the side, so there's a decent amount of room to place in a lot of items. And then the glove box has a lot of room with that split style to it, so that way you can put in all the information. We'll take one last look at this interior. And then up top in the headliner, we have a sunglass holder on the backside, which is convenient to have, along with the dome lights. As we get this 2022 Dodge Challenger out on the road, I've been in a few of the Challenger models over the years. They're pretty cool to check out. You have a lot of different trim levels that you can go with. We're kind of more on the basic level with this V6 engine. You can go up to a V8, supercharged V8, get a lot of power out of your Dodge Challenger, just depending on your budget and the performance that you're looking to get. So once we get this out on the road, we can give it a little bit of gas, especially in the sport mode. Use that button there and really see what this V6 has to offer. But aside from that, there's a few buttons that I forgot to talk about earlier. They're on the back side of the steering wheel. So for this automatic, there are no steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. However, you get volume and tuning for the radio. So those controls are on the back side, just to not have the steering wheel controls on the front side as busy feeling. So it's nice. Pretty much all the Chryslers have those buttons on the back side. Let's pop it into the sport mode now. With this shifter, we can merge into traffic. For a V6, I mean, we're up to speed. It's a heavy vehicle, right around 4,000 pounds. So that V6 is pretty adequate. You do need a little bit more horsepower if you really want to step on it and get moving. But with the V6, for this weight, it felt very healthy and fine for a normal acceleration. One thing that I mentioned earlier, with the size of this interior, you have a lot of interior space. You also have a good amount of visibility. Now this windshield is very long, especially with my hand here. The windshield is very far back, and then the hood is pretty large. However, I can see a little bit over that passenger side. So for the size of it, it's a big vehicle. You can place this pretty well. It almost feels like you're behind the wheel of a pickup truck. That's how big, it just feels like that from the driver's seat. It's very wide compared to other sports cars that are much smaller. But as far as visibility goes, while I'm on that, it's pretty easy to see. I will say that pillar is pretty bulky, but I have been in vehicles that have had worse visibility, and I can see around that. You know, side mirrors are actually positioned pretty far back, and I think that's a design element to be able to see around that pillar. And why don't we give it another acceleration here. We're gonna drop down to second gear, and it shows you just above the fuel gauge, like I mentioned earlier. And we're getting up to speed. Now I was going up a hill there, so that would add to that just a little bit. But for a brand new vehicle, there's only so much I can do today. It is interesting not to have the paddle shifters, but if you do want to shift, it seems pretty responsive for this shifter down below. Now, as far as just driving this out on the road, it's actually been pretty comfortable. For the road that I'm on, there's some bumps, it's absorbing them well. It's a big vehicle, it doesn't feel like it really floats around. It feels like it kind of just goes over these bumps nice and easy. And I don't have any hard twisties to throw at this today, but you can feel it's not quite as direct. Now, being a base model again, obviously the higher up you go, the more suspension components, steering components that you can get. So it's not too responsive, but it's still a great overall sports car if you're looking for that design, yet you don't want a crazy amount of horsepower. This is definitely a good option to go with. And now switching over to the POV angle, you can see what it's like to be behind the wheel of this Dodge Challenger. Like I mentioned earlier, hopefully from this angle, you can tell how far or how big this dashboard is, as well as where the hood line is. Pretty far away. But it opens it up, gives you a lot of visibility from this driver's seat. A-pillars are very thin, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the car right next to me there or not. But definitely very open for the front section of this vehicle. And it's very quiet too. It's not a loud vehicle by any means. There's no exhaust modes or anything. We just have the sport mode button, which probably just gives you a little bit more throttle response versus not having it on, of course. So it's a fun vehicle if you're not looking for a ton of performance out of your Challenger. As we merge into traffic, I mean, we got up to speed. Pretty healthy to just get up and move. I don't feel like it's underpowered for the weight of this. So that's pretty much the goal with this trim level with the V6. It has an adequate amount of power. You don't have to put your pedal to the floor basically in order to get up and moving, which is really nice. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of this 2022 Dodge Challenger SXT. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Concord for providing this sports car for me today. Make sure you check out their website. All that info is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.